Hey guys, welcome back to Jurassic Collectibles. So today we're taking a look at this. It's the brand new Papo 2015 T-Rex and Velociraptor set. Right here in the UK, this is a ToysRUs exclusive. So it's quite hard to get hold of unless you nip into ToysRUs. But it's a really cool set. We've got a repaint of the T-Rex and the Velociraptor from Papo. I'm calling these version 3 because there are 2 versions already of these dinosaurs in different paint schemes that are available. Here on Jurassic Collectibles, we've reviewed every version of these dinosaurs so far. So if you want to check out the existing dinosaurs, links to those videos are in the description below, and we are going to be comparing them with these new figures. So without further ado, let's take a closer look at the packaging. So down here in the bottom right hand corner, we've got the Papo logo. Up here it says ages 3+, that's me. And all around the packaging and even in the back, we've got this sort of modern forest painterly backdrop. It's not like a very realistic backdrop, it's more of an arty look. And Papo have always been the classy dinosaur figures, so it's kind of cool to see them doing something different. The dinosaurs themselves are attached to the box via these plastic clear trays, and the T-Rex is unfortunately muzzled with a bag. And Papo, being a French manufacturer of dinosaur toys, it says Les Dinosaurs, which in French means the dinosaurs. Interesting, they didn't say T-Rex and Raptor set. And on the side we got dinosaurs in more languages, and we got a picture of the version 2 Raptor, which is not the one that we get in the box. And on the opposite side we've got the running T-Rex, which is a completely different model, and I'm assuming this is just to advertise other products in their range. On the back of the box we haven't got anything too interesting, just some choking hazard warnings in various languages, and we've got some more of that interesting artwork. Okay, so without further ado, let's get these guys out of the packaging. So here is the brand new T-Rex and Raptor Papo set out of the packaging, and I have to admit, when I first saw promotional stills of these two, I wasn't too keen on the new paint schemes, but now that they're in hand, I can see that the colours are much more naturalistic and earthy than first shown, and I really do like these two. So the T-Rex comes in these earthy tones of grey, browns and mustard yellows, and in this coloration it actually reminds me of tribal war paint. In stark contrast, the Raptor consists of this base of dark brown with washes of royal blue, stripes of maroon red and white, and even splashes of turquoise on the tail and the head. So let's take a closer look at these two dinosaurs. Starting off with the T-Rex, as you can see the jaw is articulated, much like versions 1 and 2 that we've got so far. Very beautifully painted, and the eyes are actually rendered in this very bright orange, a bit like the version 2 Raptor. As we move down the neck, beautiful sculpt. We're all very familiar with the Papo Tyrannosaurus Rex, and you can see lovely paint scheme going on here with this mustard contrasted with this almost reddish brown going on. Lovely clear musculature in the arms. Same with the leg, very clear defined musculature and beautiful sculpt work. Really love the weathering on this foot here. They've used different types of grey to really bring out all that detail. Looks really, really gorgeous. As we move up here to the tail, lovely skin being pulled across here. And again, this stripe just continues down the tail. On the opposite side, again, we've got the mustard stripe. We've got some nice stripes just very lightly indicated on the leg there in a darker grey. And you can see the ribs are clearly visible there. Really nice clear musculature on this arm. Lovely creases and folds in the neck. And then we get back to that very dark head sculpt. You could argue that this dark coloration is closer to what we see in Jurassic Park. Some have argued that the brown Papo is a little bit too bright, and we'll do some comparisons with those in just a minute. Next, here's a close-up look at the Raptor, and you can see we've got loads of colours going on here in the head. Again, the jaw is articulated, so you can open that up and see the very carefully painted and sculpted teeth. Needle-like and carefully painted. That eye is just absolutely gorgeous, and you can see those touches of turquoise and green that I talked about. Beautiful colours as we go down the neck. We've got a little touch of almost like an orange beigey colour going on there. Got a nice stripe of maroon and white going along the back. There's touches of blue going on here as well. They've really used some nice washes of colour to bring out all this detail. Beautifully painted finger claws there. They have missed a trick a little bit on one of the claws. You can see they've just painted the tip there. But apart from that, very beautiful paintwork. You can see here's the clear musculature across the chest, and in the legs you can see that sickle claw that we all know and love. Moving down the tail, again we've got stripes of this blue going on, and then we've got the turquoise at the end. Beautiful. As we move back up the tail, lovely creases and folds. Very clear musculature on this side as well. Very carefully painted toe claws and weathered feet. Really, really nice clear musculature there in the arm. And then we've got some of that sort of reddish orange going on again. And then we join back up with that beautiful head sculpt. The spots and bold coloration of this head remind me of a Jurassic Park 3 or even a Jurassic World Raptor. So just how big are these guys? Let's bring in the tape measure. In terms of the T-Rex, you're looking at about 9 inches from head to tail, which is about 23 centimeters. And in terms of the height, you're looking at about 6.5 inches, which is about 16, 17 centimeters. As for the Raptor, you're looking at about 6.5 inches long, which is about 16, 17 centimeters. And in terms of the height, you're looking at about 4 inches, which is about 10 centimeters. And for comparison, here's the 3 versions of the Raptors available from Papo. This one is ridiculously rare, and the paint scheme matches what we see in Jurassic Park. This one here is more of a Jurassic Park 3 paint scheme, and then we have the new one here, which is the ToysRUs exclusive. In terms of paint schemes, I have to admit that the new one is probably the most subtle and naturalistic. But the coolest thing about this new Velociraptor is now we can add a new member to the Velociraptor pack and add some more variation to those colours. And for comparison, here's the T-Rex versions 1, 2 and 3 side by side. Something I never noticed before is the fact that the head of the first version has changed radically between versions 1 and 2. It's much more squared off at the snout, and also there's a massive dip here at the jaw that isn't present in the newer versions. And something that stands out from the new version compared to the old versions is the fact that they haven't used that reflective gold paint for the eyeball. Instead, they've used this bright orange with a high gloss to make it look very wet and genuine. On the newer Rex, they've also used a much brighter pink for the tongue and the gum line, which I think looks much more naturalistic. However, they have used a really bright white for the teeth, and I think that was better on the older versions where it was a bit more yellowy. I have to admit, out of the 3, I still think I prefer the first version of the T-Rex, which unfortunately is getting quite scarce, but I just think the coloration and the airbrushing is very naturalistic compared to these other 2. So there we have it, guys. That was today's look at the ToysRUs exclusive T-Rex and Velociraptor 2-pack. I think these 2 are really, really cool. I'm probably more impressed by the Velociraptor than the T-Rex, if I'm honest. I think this one looks much more naturalistic and is actually an improvement on the previous 2 versions. The T-Rex, I still think the green first version is the best one that they've released, but it's really nice to have a new version to add to the T-Rex family. It's obvious that Papo is trying to capitalize on their 2 favorite figures, most of which are now becoming scarce and going for ridiculous prices on eBay. So if you can, snap these up. I think they're great variations on the theme of the T-Rex and the Raptor, and it's great to have versions 3 of these figures. I wonder how many versions we're actually going to get of not just these figures, but other Papo figures in future. Okay guys, leave a comment down below. Let me know if you're going to be picking these up or if you've picked them up already. In the meantime, rate, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.